Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Rabbi Isai, this week, Menachem Mateh, the Balkoira, our Balkoira, he's here with the daf from day one, basically. He became a grandfather for the very first time. On this block, we have Rabbi Eliyav Friedman, Rav Gav's brother. He became a grandfather for the very first time. The two of them made a shidduch this very day. Menachem Mateh's son Tzvi, chashuv guy, is engaged to Eliav's daughter. So it's mamish unbelievable coincidence. From the same, they used to live in the same building, the same block. Now Menachem moved away a little bit, a couple blocks away, but still here. So tremendous Mazel tov. This is Mark Ashkenazi. He was here yesterday. Somebody caught him in the act. He's like a kid, like mamish, excited to show these chayalim, the daf, trying to convince them. Look at his simcha on his face. Here, you can see even more. That Aron Kodesh on the left. Like when you see the gun in the corner, this Aron Kodesh, you see the bullet holes? Bullet holes over there, right over there. 3 bullet holes in the Aron Kodesh, because this is on the border with Gaza. There's a bullet hole through the Sefer Torah over there. He sent me some pictures. This email, a great email. The problem is it's in Hebrew from Odeyad David Avlas. He's the nephew of Yaakov Badner, the famous Yaakov Badner. Chvod Rebelli, I wanted to thank you and the entire MDY team. This is exactly a year that I'm doing a Daf Yomi on Chof Mar Cheshvan. I heard that we're starting a new Masechta Bava Kama. I wanted to do something ruchnis for the sake of all the hostages and the injured and the chayalim. And also, from that very day until today, basically he was in the army. I never tried to do Daf Yomi, and when I used to learn, I only learned, little Shabbos, and sometimes even that I used to miss. But when I started Daf Yomi, I didn't know you yet, and I was learning with the art scroll. It was very difficult. I felt like I'm breaking my head in order to understand. About a week before you started the Hebrew shir, my friend showed me. He told me I should do your shir. He said that it's in English, but I think you'll figure it out. I saw 1 or 2 shiurim. I liked the different pictures and stuff, but I wasn't 100% connected. Then when he told me that it's starting the Hebrew, I was there on the very, very first shir of the Hebrew live. From then, I barely missed a day, and if I do, I go back and I make it up. I'm proud to say that today is my daf anniversary. So, and even though it's a Shana Mubarak, it's 13 months of learning every single day. Here's a guy that learned once a week or so, and even that used to miss. And here's now, complete 180 every single day. Everybody says that the shir changed their life, and for me as well. There's nothing in my life that I like to sell like I sell the shir to other people. There's not a single person that I meet that I don't recommend the shir with a lot of warmth. I show them pictures of the shir that they should understand how much the shir invests, and that everybody should have a lot of fun learning. When a person has a problem setting things and doing things concretely, all of a sudden you realize you do the daf and you make it a habit and it becomes part of you. It's ma'ala teva, he says. It's above and beyond his teva. Now, in addition, he started Shnai Mikra V'Echad Targum, which he never did in his life, and also he did Ein Haya Yomi from Rav Kook. So Kitzer, I just want to say thank you very much to you and the entire staff. Everything you do is madhim. Oh, really? Thanks for being on top of it. I really appreciate it. Yeah, but I'm done. Tell me when I'm done. Let's see how he says. Your devoted student, Odeya David Abeles. Oh. Oy, nothing uploaded here. This is terrible news. We're having big issues. What's going on? Do you see what's going on? I don't know. I put in a bunch of different. I put in emails, pictures. Not here. We got problems. Okay, let's see what it does this year. So my wife on the cruise was spotted. Rabbi Itzkowitz that comes this year is this one right over here. Here they are, an unstaged picture. Itzkowitz is in his mid-80s, and his brother, Rabbi Itzkowitz, what? V'li in Hara. Both of them on the cruise with the Gemara. Now, she said she caught them learning the daf. And then I looked closer, and I see something else going on there.
I think she knew that.
Anyway, I guess they were trying to get some. No, it's hard to get internet there. I don't know what they're doing exactly. By the way, it's the kosher cruise. Mano, yeah. Do not send me this you could say. Do not send me happy birthdays for your husband 2 months in advance or 2 days in advance. That day, max. Day before, okay. Everybody say, here we go. Oh, we have to do this. Cannot believe that's not updating. Something's wrong with the internet? I don't think so, but okay. No, we had a problem last night here. The Masechta is sponsored for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa B'revach and Refuah Yosef. Parnassa Kidnovations LLC in honor of my uncle Rebbitzen and Pressman Fishel. Should be zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga, shidduch for Yehudit Chaya, and thank you to Rebbitzen Stefansky. People ask me, were you joking that she's not coming to Shabbaton? Yes, I was joking. It was just a joke. She never told me she's not coming. Rebbitzen, 2 people asked me, so I guess it wasn't obvious. Huh? Those are the best jokes. You also thought she's not coming? I said like this: Rechon Pressman coming to the thing, Fishel coming, Akiva Simcha coming, Yehudit is coming, Rebbitzen Stefansky not coming. Just a joke. Should be zechus for a year filled with Mazel, Bracha, hatzlacha, Parnassa B'revach and Refuah. Parnassa Yosef ben Chaya, Sara for Parnassa B'revach. Oh, I know. I put it in. I see that these things are not in there. Does anybody remember the younger man that came all the way from Beitar 2 days in a row?
Yeah. It's in your house computer. It's not here.
Aryeh Simon.
I have it here.
So he has a company. He does the change. What is it called?
He's Yoni's boss.
Yoni's boss, right? Something I forgot what it's called. So I put his logo. He donated $5,000 towards the Shabbaton. Yeshur Koyach. Rabbi Wasserthiel also donated $3,600. That, huh? Okay, Bezer Hashem. And then I have an idea. I had this idea. There's this, you know what a Shabbos sled is? It's like it's a box that has a drawer, and you open it up and it lights up your room. It costs $67 on Amazon. We would like to give it out as a gift, one of the merch gifts at the Shabbaton. So my idea was that if you have a company, you want to put your company logo on it, you could sponsor all of them for like $10,000, or you could do like a partial sponsorship. We're still negotiating, doing great deals for big sponsors for the $10,000 guys, coming, free room, that kind of stuff. So be in touch with Yossi. But Baruch Hashem, sponsorships are coming in, and Be'ez Hashem this year we won't lose money. That's what it's looking like. Are we done with the sponsors? No. Where am I holding? Tzvi Spero, Refuah Shleimah, Itamar Ephraim ben Chaya Blima, Refuah Shleimah for Yosef Chaim Shmuel ben Altanachama from his grateful family. What are you doing? Yeah, but you're moving it around. I'm trying to read here. Thank you. Yosef ben Chaya, sorry for Parnassa. Tzvi Spero, Refuah Shleimah for Itamar Ephraim ben Chaya Blima. From his grateful family. I don't know what this means. Paras Hayom. Lorem ipsum? I have no idea what that means. What? Is that a joke?
It's placeholder.
So it's a fake Paras Hayom? Somebody put that in? That's what they put in? What do you mean you don't know?
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Did they pay?
Did they pay?
It appears so. I don't know.
Somebody paid money to put those two words in. Okay? Rabbi Willie and Esti Balk, in memory of Willie's mother, Shendel Fayga Bas Akiva Shalom on her 11th yard side, and Shalom should have an aliyah. Parnassa B'revach and Refuah Tzvi Ben Shmuel Mordechai Olav Shalom, the Shalom should have an aliyah. Parnassa B'revach, Avner Yunayev, he wrote a very nice long email, and I put his picture in, but we're having computer problems. Nishmat Avi Ateret Roshi, Simcha Chaim Ben Sheva on his 23rd, he calls it anniversary, 19th Cheshvan. Joe and Galia Berry, in honor of the engagement of the grandson Menachem Simcha Berry to Bela Deutsch. Mazel Tov. In honor of the month of zechus for rebellion, the whole of the white staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Boy, here we go. We're holding Daf Kuf Mem Zayin Amud Beis. Omar Rava. We're going to try to get to Kuf Mem Ches Amud Beis, like 8 lines from the bottom, similar spot to we're holding here, but Amud Aleph here is kind of short. Omar Rava Menachem. Rava says the name of his Rebbe. Omar Yoder Plaining Baize. The Shchimra guy who's on his deathbed or he's sick. Let's call him sick. And he says this guy could stay in my house. He's not giving him anything tangible. You see this palm tree doesn't have any fruit yet. When it has dates, he could have those dates. Again, it's not a tangible thing. Lo yomar klum. Nothing happened. Unless he gives him the house, then he could stay there. Give him this tree, and then he'll be able to have fruit. Why? As Gemara says right now, because a shchivra is no better than a regular person in what he could do. In other words, if a regular person could give away a house and through a kinyan, so shchivra could give away a house without a kinyan. But if a regular person cannot give away peres dekel, he can't give somebody the right to live in his house like that. So then he cannot. Then a shchimera can't do it either. It's not a tangible thing. So therefore, a shchimera is not better. So says the Gemara, remember the Savar of Nachman. It has to be something that only a healthy person can do, and if a healthy person can't do it, a shchimera can't do it either. The less of a bari, if you don't find this concept by a healthy person, less of a shchimera. Ask the Gemara of Amar Rav Nachman, shchimera she'omar fnu. Halva'asi l'ploini. Shchimra calls. He says, I want to. The truth is, this is not the same thing, but they say a vitz. They say a guy who is dying. Anybody that lives in Israel knows what I'm talking about. He calls 10 heads of gemachs. There's a guy that Myers. He comes here down in Shachris. Israeli guy. He has a very famous gemach. He told me this doesn't happen, but he calls 10 guys from the gemach. He says, listen. What I do is every month, what everybody else does, I take from your gmach, I take the money and give it to this gmach. When I owe it to that guy, I go to you. It's called the galgel, chovot, to roll the chayvus around. So now, he talks about himself, Pliny is going to the next world. So I'm asking you to be megalgal between yourselves. Leave me out of this, you just take from you and give to you. So Shchimra Sha'omar Tnu al Vasi Pliny. This is a little different. Halvasi means somebody owes him money. Somebody owes the dying guy money. But there's no shtar. If there's a shtar, then it's easy. Take the shtar, give it to somebody else. No shtar, somebody owes him $100. Shemar says, I'm going to the next world. Give the $100, give it to a good cause. Halvasi l'ploini. So it works. This doesn't exist by a healthy person. Why doesn't it exist by a healthy person? A healthy person cannot tell somebody else, hey, so-and-so owes you money here, take it from him. Where's the kinyan? It's not tangible. You want to give somebody else a shtar? Okay. But it does work by shchimra. So here you see, there are things that work by shchimra. Oh, we're coming in a second. It's not a real shibud, but it's similar, yeah. Coming up. Papa Amar, the reason is Hoyel v'Yorish Yarsha. The way the whole Shchimra works is like a Yerusha. When you say to Reuven, that's not even related to you, should get your stuff, he's actually inheriting you. You're not giving over. You're not being maknim anything. It comes. So this loan happens to be, it comes over with a Yerusha kind of thing. No. This. What are you asking me? That this doesn't exist by a healthy person? Yes, it does. It happens to be that you could go to somebody and say, he owes me money, take it from him. And it will work. Why? Somebody complained to my chavrusa, he snitched on me. They do this all the time. I love it. And my chavrusa won't tell me what it is. Somebody came over to me and said, you said the wrong pshat in shir. Here's the wrong pshat in shir. Idach, Domarav, Monali Biatcha. This is this will show the Shibuda de Reb Nosson. We know the famous Shibuda de Reb Nosson. The guy in the middle lent money to the Malva. The Malva lent money to the Leiva. Oh, you don't see it because whatever. Gershon, hello. Oh, he's not even up there. Look at that. I'm not joking. He's not even up there. And there's a clock on the bottom, 9:15. Okay, so wow. So I'm blaming it on Gershon because he confused me. He wasn't up there, so I didn't explain Pshat. But the raya is that the night before, the shir before, it was on Friday, I did say Pshat.
אני אומר לך, אתה יודע מה, במקום שתחזיר לי את זה, תתן את זה לאליה. אני חייב כסף לאליה.
So, it works like this. If I didn't lend you money, I have $100 by you. So I'm telling you, take that $100, give it to Pliny. Actually, I don't think I said good shot in Hebrew either. It was a good. I said it's similar. What I wanted to say, it's similar to Shibuda de Reb Nosson. Over here, if somebody really owes $100, the Malva owes to Shlishi, the Malva lent to Leiva, so Leiva give back to Shlishi. Fine. That's because there's a chayv. Over here, nothing on the screen. Again, just to show, this is Shibuda de Reb Nosson, not to be confused, very, very similar. That's why Reb Menachem says it's like Shibuda. Shlishi owes money to Malva. Malva, no, you can't do rappers in this year. You're enough. You know that I'm.
He's new to this shit.
I'll let you do it. Go, grab that candy out of there. You do, and I'm waiting. So anyway, no, it's fine. That's called listeners. I found out that one of my grandchildren has it. It's genetic, like sensory. This kind of. So Malva goes.
When we were young, no one had sensory issues. So.
That's what they're saying. The Israelis started saying, "Oh, the mufanic you." This, okay, I don't know. It's not true. There's people that can't stand the smell of tuna. They go crazy. That's not sensory. That's sensory. What? It's one of the senses. That's what it. That's also. I don't have that. I'm just saying it's a general thing. It's okay. This is what when you can't go to the bathroom in school and you can't eat in school. These are sensory issues. Okay, fine. It's part of not OCD of no. It's much worse of misophonia, but autism. It's on the spectrum of autism. I'm a little autistic. Yeah, everybody is in a way. Okay. You're listening to a shir from an it's fine. I have no problem. It's a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. What are you laughing? Making fun of me? Okay, so anyways, over here it's not a loiv and a malva. Over here, the malva, somebody owes money. Not that somebody owes money, sorry. Somebody's holding money. He's the banker. Mr. Loiva is holding money for Mr. Malva, just holding it, saving it. So the malva says what?
Between those two as well. Just the third one's not connected.
The third one is not connected. Fine. Okay, exactly. Halva, not halva. The point is that the third one didn't give a loan over here. The malva tells the loiva, give money to the third. Why? Kacha. So there's no kinyan, there's no anything. And that's what the Gemara said over there. Let me just remind you, right over here, the Gemara says on Daf Kuf Mem Daled that this is one of the halachas in Shas that really doesn't make sense halachically. It's Ma'amet Shloshim. Where's the kinyan? No, he said in front of 3 people, so you could transfer money to him without anything else. Okay. Huh?
Meaning if all 3 of them are there.
All 3 of them are there. Yeah. It's updated. I don't know. Oh, this is the Adar Global International Financial. I think there's a better logo or something, but I just wanted to throw it in as soon as he gave it. And where's that picture that my wife was mamish excited that they're doing the daf here? They're doing the daf together. Then she comes from around, and we know the end of the story over there. Oh. Weiter. There's other stuff, but we'll show it later. Hill Boyer, Hill Boyer, remember him?
Whenever I see somebody,
I'm sitting here in Surfside, Florida, learning with my friend over here. Two guys sit down next to me.
I remember one time I just ran
Geschmack. Okay. And then he tells me the name. Ruven Tober from Montreal, Steigen in Surfside, Florida. Givaldi. He made, so here, even the people that don't watch emails, we got them. They got to see an email. Says the Gemara. I'm not going to read it now. It's a very long one. We'll read it Beis Hashem tomorrow. It's a good one. We said this already. There's a gewaldige mashal, not a mashal. There's a case that happens even today, literally with the dekel. Think about it. Peres la'echad dekel la'acher happens today. Let's say you own a farm of palm trees. You sell all the lulavim to one guy, to the lulav guy, and you sell all the dates to another guy. That's how it works today. Adim hazeh. So it's literally selling wood, the actual tree, to one guy, and he's selling the fruit to the other guy. Mao. What's the question? Mishir mokim peri uloi shir. Where do the dates come out from? They come out from some sort of branch, from some sort of thing. Did he leave behind for himself, for the next guy, did he leave the branches or no? If he didn't leave the actual branch, then the fruit just comes out of thin air. That is perish lo yahayu ba'olam. If he actually left the branch, that's something else. You were makna to one guy the branches that the dates come out of, and to the other guy you were makna the part of the tree that the lulav comes out of. That makes sense. You'll say, no, he didn't want to give the other guy the branches. What about what if he's the one that gets to keep? He himself, the owner of the tree, wants to keep all the dates. Maybe for himself, he did leave over the branches. So he answers, if you would say, Taka, like the first Havamim, that to somebody else, you don't leave over branches. You give him the dates. If you're selling dates, are you selling branches? No, you're not selling in branches of dates. You're selling the dates. And that doesn't really work. But if he did it for himself, Shir Mokoim Peri. Then he did leave the branches for himself. Why? It's yourself. You care about yourself. You're selfish. So for yourself, you'll take branches. You'll give everything else to the other guy. But for yourself, you're going to save all the big branches. Like two friends, they went to the pizza shop and they bought a pie together. So the guy says, okay, split the pie. I get half, you get half. He looks at his piece. He says, that's not fair. Why do you take the larger piece? The larger half. So he says, and what would you do if you were dividing it? He says, what do you mean? I would take the smaller piece for myself. He says, exactly. That's why I did it like that. I gave you the smaller piece like you would do it. So a person for himself does it differently. He keeps it's always gewaldic to say over a joke and look over to these two guys over here and they're like this. Don't smile now. Imitate yourself before. Wow. We need Ashi to sit over here. And who else? I need some Ravi Zaret. Give me chizuk. You're hiding over there behind people. All right. So says the Gemara. Huh?
What?
Oh.
If it's funny, I laugh.
Yeah, it's good.
When it's funny, we laugh.
When it's funny, you laugh.
You heard it before. It's very geschmack. It's very geschmack. So it's not so fun. Who's that new guy over there? Shalom Aleichem.
Dolby Klein, Toronto.
Dolby Klein from Toronto. And next to you?
Dolby Brahmins from Rebbitzen Stefansky.
Dolby Brahmins from Rebbitzen. Shalom Aleichem. Keep on coming. We had another guy or two here. No, nobody? Oh, Menachem, who's the guy right in front of you? Baruch. Where are you from, Baruch? Hides. Now you know, he's always constantly hiding. Fine. Givaldi. That guy's new, but okay, whatever. It's hiding from me. Zog the Gemara. So we have Rava. We learned this on Rish Lakish. Somebody sells a house. Here in Eretz Yisrael, I heard things have been changing lately. When I bought, I live on the top floor, so I get the roof. If there's like rights to build eventually, like the buildings across the street from us, they're building now on top, so I get those rights. Today, the Kabbalim are a little smarter, and they keep those rights for themselves. They sell you the top floor, they keep the rights. If eventually one day there's some rights, they start building. I heard in Menachem Mateh's building, you knew he's going to do that? You knew. You moved in knowing that a guy is going to build another floor, 2 floors on top of your house. You should have your head examined. For another year and a half, drilling at 7 o'clock in the morning. They're okay? They're good?
Stop, they ran out of money.
As building as well. Okay, but that you knew when you bought it. The guy said, "I'm building another 2 floors." It's different. Okay, somebody said that in Arzabira, the Kabbalah came back 30-something years later. He says, "Okay, I'm building now." He had the rights from 30 years ago. We learned, believe it or not, we learned this. If a guy sells his top floor, it does not include the roof. Does not include the roof. Let's see what the picture is. Hold on. Where do I put this in? I'll try to put it in. Remind me, there's a nice video I got to put in. I forgot where it goes though. This came out nothing to do with the sugya, but when I thought about Dekel, so I thought this is to remind the Olam that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does nisim in the worst situation. This is on October 7th. I just like the last words that he said. Very nice. He's taking his kids out of the window. He's showing he's taking his kids out of the window.
והיא יוצאת, סוגר את החלונות, ובעצם נכנסתי לפה, הבן שלי עליי פה, באותה סיטואציה מורן ישבה פה, עם הגב אליי, עם הראש לשם, הבת שלי עליה פה, ואנחנו מושכים ככה את הכפות דקל. אחד המחבלים בא, עמד, ואז הוא נעמד פה. עכשיו הרגל שלו עמדה ממש,
20 centimeters from his face.
אין לי מושג איך הם עברו פה בשביל הזה כמה פעמים, ולא ראו אותנו, ואיך הם עמדו לי פה מול העיניים ולא ראו אותי. לא יודע. זה רק הניסים של אלוהים, חד משמעית זה לא שום דבר אחר לא.
Guy from Barry. Yeah. So this is our story right over here. He sells him the rooftop. He sells him a rooftop. The rooftop, I'm sorry, he sells him the first floor. It does not include the rooftop. The question is, why does he have to add those words? He says, he told him, now you don't have to say Almanas. Automatically, you don't sell the rooftop. The rooftop is not included. So he said over there, and that's what we're going to see in the Gemara over here, is to tell us that he has the rights, even though the guy on the bottom owns the chutzner. You see, he has a backyard over there. He has a whole little enclosure. He's still allowed to build those beams out of his house. How strong they are, whatever. For exaggeration purposes, here we'll see in a second. If a person says, I'm giving you the house, and I'm giving my other friend, I'm giving him the rights to the roof. Now, me have a shiur or loy. Is that considered? Did he give him the right to build out those beams over there? What do you do if you build out those beams? So I had inspiration from the shul next door. That's what they did. One day, there's beams coming out like that. Like, okay, great. What's that for? They're probably going to put a sukkah under there. So it turns out that they didn't really put a sukkah. Oy vey. They did something like this. Made out of that material. It goes up in one day. Polypach, boom. It's there. So when you have zizin coming out, be careful. You know what's coming next. So that the question is did he give him rishos or not to put out the zizin? Now you'll say no. He didn't give him the right. Chutz midiyot. What if he said a stronger lashon of chutz? Does that give him the right to put out zizin? Chutz midiyot have a shir. But if you say this strong lashon of chutz midiyot, that gives you the right to put out the zizin. Valib the Razvid the Omar. This goes according to Razvid. Shimratza lahaitzi v'zizin moitzi. Alma given the shir diyota. Makim zizin amish shir. Okay. So what he was trying to do is to give him the ability to put out the zizin. Oh, turning of the daf for Cheshvan, Berkovici family, the zechus klal Yisrael, and Glenn Esterson, dedicated to Gilad Jacob Israel. Thank you for bringing the daf into my life. Baruch Hashem. If anybody brought you into the daf and you want to say shkoyach of the turning of the daf, here's the perfect time. Next month coming up. Huh?
2 months. Next month's booked up.
Next month is booked up in 2 months. If you want to jump in now for next year. Omer Rav Yosef ben Yumi, Omer Rav Menachem. If a shchimera gave everything to somebody else, so let me remind you again, and we have to, because this you have to remember well. A healthy person that gives something away as a gift, you must make a kinyan in order for it to work. But once you make the kinyan, you can never take it back. You can't say, oh, I didn't know. I thought I was going to die. I thought I did. It doesn't matter. That's a healthy person. A dying person on his deathbed, you don't need a kinyan. However, if he wakes up, he becomes healthy, and this is very important to the sugya. If he becomes healthy, he could take it back. But a shchivmera, he's not on his dying bed. He's sick, and he thinks that he's dying. So it depends on what he gave. If he gave he only gave part of his belongings, then it's similar to a healthy person, where it requires a kinyan. If he gave it all of it, hakol, then it's similar to a guy that's mitzav machasmi. So you see in his head, he thinks he's dying, that's why he didn't leave himself. Not one iota, and therefore he could retract. So says the Gemara Royan, a guy is shchivmra that gave kol nechasav, everything over, to his friend. In b'mechalek, if he gave everything out, meis kanukulam, if he died, then everybody acquires everything. Omad, and if he became healthy, what do we just say? If he became healthy after he gave everything, chayzer b'kulon, he can retract. Now here's a good one. In benimlach, if he didn't give it in one shot, he took his time. He said, I want to give you 1. He paused, he waited, he scratched his head. Then he says, I want to give you another 10%. I don't want to give you another 10%. 10 people, each one gets 10%. But in between each person, he paused for a minute. Nimlach. Meis. Kanu kulam. Why? This is a regular gift. Because look again. In the center line, Mateh shchivmera, miktsas, 2 trees. What's the halacha? It's like a healthy gift. It requires a kinyan. So the Rishonim say over here, there was a kinyan. In fact, there was a kinyan. He's a shchimera that gave away 10%. He must make a kinyan because he didn't give all of it away. But since there's a kinyan, he cannot retract. So when he jumps up on his feet the following day, miraculously, and he walks out, he cannot take his field back. You hear what's going on here? Can't take it back. Omad, in a chayzer. Last guy, the last 10%, could he retract? Yes. Why? Because the last 10% is 100%. That's all he has. All he has left is 10%, and he gave that away. So that 10% that he gave away, he's saying to himself, Ploini is not going to make it. He's not surviving. I might as well give it all away right now. I don't know if you ever had the zechus to read this book. I didn't really read. I read parts of it. There's a book called The Regret of the Dying, something like that. A woman who worked with dying people. That's it. And she wrote a whole book about it. What do people say on their very last day? It's a very interesting book. I thought it's interesting. So, I wrote down some of the stuff she said. But basically, I think the number one thing was people regretted living their life for other people. What is the other guy going to think about me? The shidduchim, because we're very into that. I can't do this because what are they going to say in shidduchim? Five the Welt. Who cares? It doesn't hurt shidduchim. I'm telling you. This guy, a guy in the kollel, I said, why don't you buy a scooter? It's geschmack. He waits for the bus and this and that in the rain. Scooter. I can't. Shidduchim. Shidduchim. It's all about shidduchim. It's like you're living your life for somebody else, basically. So that's regret number one. I wrote down a bunch of other stuff. Regret not spending time with friends, not sticking. That was one of the not family. I thought family. Regret. Okay, interesting stuff. But on the last day, he says, you know what? I got nothing left over here. I'm giving it Shalom Yisrael. So that's a Mateh. So it's a combination. The first 90% is a regular gift. He cannot take it back. The last 10% is a gift of a Mateh. Oh. Vidilma asked the Gemara, this pause, this 1 minute pause in between, why are you making a big deal out of it? Maybe it's a regular Mateh that he's giving 100% of everything he has, and therefore he could retract it all. And the reason it's pausing is thinking a little bit. Says Gemara, no, we know how Shchimara works. He's in a panic. Right now he's in a panic. First he thinks about it, then he just starts shooting out, boom, boom, boom. He's not pausing in between. Omer of Acha, Barman Yumi, Omer of Nachman. A guy who thought he was dying, but then he was healed. So let me show you this video somewhere in between here. Here we go. The videos are getting better these days.
You get the house in Yerushalayim.
Make the volume a little
lower. House in Nebrak. You in Beit Shemesh. You in Beitar. Today I feel a bit better. So I leave all the houses to me.
Wait. But we learned in the Daf Yomi that if the one who stipulate did not say all my property, or if it is not known that there were no other properties, the gift is valid. So, Father, you have to look for another home for yourself.
Okay. They killed their father. So it says over here that if we have to be choishish, maybe there's a house in another place, like this video. There's a house in another place. Oh, the father wakes up. He cannot retract. Like these guys were all excited. He can't retract. Why? You have to be concerned. Maybe he has nechazim medina acheres. I say this all the time, and I said this yesterday, and I'm happy. I'm going to say it again because 2 people came over to me after Shia and said, you should know, you saved me right now. So I'm going to say this. Here in Eretz Yisrael, there's a scam. People try to sell real estate in America to the Israelis. They say, oh, if I buy a house in Detroit, Michigan, for $20,000, come be a partner. So I'm telling you right now, that in Detroit, Michigan, it's not worth $20,000. It's worth minus $20,000. It's worth zero sometimes. Zero. I know from Chicago. I was offered houses for free. Just take it. Why? They're boarded up. It's a block where nobody lives on, and all you're going to be doing is paying taxes. So now you're Israeli, a big chacham, you have some money. Another guy came over to me and said that a bunch of Avreichim, there's a group, they're buying up businesses. Avreichim are buying up businesses. Okay, they put money together. So these people have a little money for saving. They want to make a chasana. So they go ahead and they say, listen, it looks like a great deal. America, it's America. And $20,000 for a whole house. Here, look at the picture. These houses are worthless. Do not invest in something you don't know. Bottom line. So you're American, so you know what I'm talking about. But you can go through neighborhoods where you can't get out of your car. It's sakanas nefashos, and there are blocks upon blocks upon blocks of boarded up houses. and they're selling you this garbage. It's worthless stuff. Right now it's worthless. All you have to do is pay taxes, and it's just going to cost out of your pocket. They go, no, we'll fill it up with rent. No. That's not how it works. Some people know how to make money on it, but you don't be the guy to fall for it. If you don't invest in things that you don't know about. So now I'm just explaining, how does this guy have nechasim b'makim macher in Medina Cheres? Because he was a fool. He bought real estate in Chicago and in downtown in Detroit over there. Back, I don't know now. Maybe now there was a. I remember you could buy up when the Ford plant closed or whatever. You could buy up hundreds and thousands of houses and apartment buildings and everything for free, nothing. Just give the government $10,000, you buy 20 blocks. Okay, Chaya, it's worth nothing. So that's why. And if we have to be chayshish, maybe one day he made an investment in Detroit, and now, therefore, he cannot take it back. Why? Because he can go live in Detroit. We said if a shchimera leaves himself one piece, then it's not a mateh shchimera. So how come the Mishnah says if he doesn't have any karka whatsoever, then he could retract? How is it possible to know if he doesn't have any karka? Maybe he has one piece of karka in Detroit. He says, even if I have a piece of property in Detroit, I'm giving it to you as well. I'm giving you everything. Okay, so that's a mateh shchimera that he could retract because he became healthy. You know this guy. You know he never had $10 in his bank account. There's no way he ever invested in Detroit. And Memela, that's a mateh shchimera. Yibaylu. Chazar b'miktzas have a chazar b'kula. We're just going to do this little sugya, and that's it for today. So let me show you. Here we go. Very simple. Here's a shchimera. And he gives the entire property to the first guy. The entire thing. A shchimera has the ability to retract while he's alive. You know what? I don't want to give it to you. I want to give the whole thing to the second guy. In this case, he doesn't give the whole thing. He goes ahead and he says, I'm giving Mr. 2, I'm giving him a half a property, a third of the property, whatever it is. Question is, when he says, I want to give a third of the property to number 2, what happened to number 1? Does he get to keep everything? Or does he lose it all? Maybe he's taking it back for himself. Here's the question in words. Did he have charata and therefore he takes back the half and he just leaves that little piece for the second guy? Or the same exact case, but there's no charata. So there's no charata. What happens is, we said before, if he gave everything away and now he's smiling, you could see he's in a good mood, meaning he's healthy. So since he gave everything away, what happens? He gets it all back. But if it sounded like the top, that he had charata, and half went back to him, and only half went to Mr. 2, then he becomes healthy. Now you have a regular gift, because if it's a partial gift, it's a full gift. So number 2 gets to keep half. Tashma. He gave everything to the first one. Then he had charata. He gave a little bit to the second one. Sheni kana, rishon loy kana. First guy doesn't have anything. So you see a raya, my love b'shemes, that he died, and you see that he has charata in everything. Says the Gemara, loy b'shamad. We're talking about that he became healthy. So now the reason why it's batal is because he became healthy. So I'll bring you right. We're talking about that he became healthy. Same case basically, but in the reverse. Let's see real quickly. I just want to get here. Okay. Now, this case. Look what happens. Over here, the case is slightly different. He gave, to begin with, he gave 50% to Mr. 1. Then he went ahead and gave 50% to Mr. number 2. That's the case. This case, you have to say that he became healthy. So maybe the Reish is also talking about that he became healthy. The rest of it, the other 50% he gave to the second one. Rishon Kana. The first one, what happened? Think about it. The first one, was it a good gift? Look, half. A partial gift. What kind of gift is it? A gift of a bari. That works even if you become healthy, you don't get it back. So Rishon Kana. Sorry, where am I? Sheni. But the second half What kind of gift is that? That's not leaving yourself anything. That's a matnas shchimera, that it returns if the guy gets healthy. So therefore, kulan sheni rishon kala sheni leikana. So the Gemara just says, if he became healthy, that makes sense why the second one didn't acquire anything, because he became healthy after he gave away 100% of his nechasim. But if he's talking about a case where he completely died, tavayu liknu, yeah, this is a typical shchimera. He gives 50% to Pliny, 50% to Almighty. You have a total of 100% out. He dies, they get to keep it. Why shouldn't the second one keep it? Elamai must be talking about that he became healthy, and therefore the race is also healthy. I'm not using Shlomi's thing, that's why it's not working today. Let the first case that he gave 100% to Rishon, and then he retracted, he gave 50% to Sheni. Now I could understand if you tell me that regretting it, you regret everything. Oh, so let's go back. Let's say this case. Where am I? You see this? He gave 100% to Rishon. Then he said, no, let me give Sheni something. If I had complete regret, yeah? Or better, let's just do this one. Hitcharet, you see? He had regret. So it makes a lot of sense that the Sheni gets it. Why? Because he had charata. And he gave Sheni 50%. 50% is a regular gift. He cannot take it back. He took 50 for himself. After he gave the whole thing to Rishon, he gave Sheni half, which is a regular gift, and he took the other half for himself. So that kind of thing you can't regret. That's why the second one got it. But if he never retracted Bekula, it's not a complete chazara. Therefore, it should be as if he gave how much? 100%, 50% to Rishon, 50% to Sheni. That's a 100% gift. And what happens when he becomes well? It all goes back to the shchimera. Nevi kimechalik should be like he gave all of it away. Not even one should get it. Therefore, everything we just said, therefore we say that if you regret a little bit, you regret the whole thing from the first guy, and the second one gets it. Like we explained, whether he died or didn't die, it works. As we just explained the second, that the Sefer must be talking about that he became healthy. That's why the Rishon gets it, the second one doesn't get it. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.